Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party.
On Tuesday.
Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and gabbing, maybe some microphone gabbing at the after party.
With DJ Airrick, Pagey, and
Canadagraphs? Actually, I got sent the proper, like a new version of that, but I haven't had a chance to upload it. So, yeah, it's Pagey as Lex Luthor over here, and Canadagraphs in the building. Yeah, so Tom did send a corrected, or I say a different version of that. That's the ending is slightly better, I guess. Anyway, we'll upload that soon. So hello everybody, welcome to the after party 2.0. Maybe we'll be 3.0 soon, I don't know. We got Pagey over here. What's going on?
probably 1.9 after next week with your results.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we have Canadagraphs, who actually made it this week. We're able to get it scheduled. To be fair, the times were weird and he wasn't really sure we were going to be live, so there you have it. But he's been out in the city doing what he does best. Videos and photos and all that stuff. I hope everybody's had a good week. My week has been crazy. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, you'll know that I had to go get a test for the virus, which wasn't fun. But the best part about it was negative. So there we go. But yeah, having things shut. Like I feel for these actors because they have to do this like multiple times a week, I think, on set. At least once a week, I would say, to get these tests done or whatever. They're not fun. It leaves a really bad sensation in your nose after you get this test done. But I would say it was a lot quicker than I expected. I mean, I got it done in less than 15 minutes, so that was good. But I guess this is the way it's going to be until everybody can get some sort of vaccination or something like that to make sure that they're capable of working. Speaking of, by the way, we I don't want to get too far into this because I do want to answer some questions, but I did find out, and this may change filming procedures for people or whatever. So we're supposed to see first rounds of vaccinations as early as like less than a month now. How is that the same situation with Canada and Australia? Like, what is it looking like for you guys?
Oh, they were just announcing like a couple. I remember way back months ago, we had negotiated a deal like the Canadian government had with Moderna. And I didn't know like where that put us in the pecking order, but Moderna came out a couple of days ago and said that Canada's very high up on the list for first distribution. So
yeah,
sounds like we should be getting our allotment early 2021 probably. But I think as eager as I am to get this out of the way, I want to hear the first round of people, see how it goes before I jump in.
Yeah,
I want to get it right away, but I'll just wait and make sure like no one's like growing a third ear or something.
Yeah, well, it says here, Haley says that the healthcare professionals are getting, like anybody who's considered high risk or areas that are high risk, and healthcare professionals will be the first to get them here too as well. So I suspect it'll probably be early next year before it becomes available to like the general public. What about you, Pagey? How are things in Australia for that or whatever?
Well, it doesn't really matter down here.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys, you don't
really
have a huge outbreak, right? I mean,
It doesn't really matter. So
yeah.
The thing is just that the thing that they've said is that you can't travel internationally unless you have a vaccine. Like I think Australia's the first one. The Qantas CEO did it.
Yeah, so you'll be taking one so you can go visit Ben.
Well, I don't fly Qantas,
Europe, right?
Qantas, they skip you. Actually, sometimes I fly Qantas, but I haven't flown Qantas internationally ever.
I mean, if you're going to be flying to Europe, you're going to have to get one, right? So you can hang out with Ben.
I thought I was flying to Virginia to have the chalk off.
well, you do want to do Comic-Con whenever that comes back, but that'll probably be 2022.
I don't know. I didn't know if Comic-Con will be on next year.
Yeah, probably not.
Because that needs months and months of planning. But if they can't, like, unless you're meant to prove that you're vaccinated to go in?
They may have something like that, I would assume.
Maybe you can't pick up your pass.
Then again, they're already trying to work on a plan that you will get some type of like pass saying that you have officially been vaccinated so that you can travel. So I could see something like that being used in other ways, such as admission to an event.
Yeah, maybe. So I guess Australia won't have to worry about it unless you're going to travel. So that gives you a little bit of leniency there. For us, probably we're going to have to deal with like this, having this done for work and stuff, which is the main reason why I had to go get a test done, whether I wanted to or not. All right, enough of that. Let us talk about some of the super chats here. We have one from Jordan Arnis, who is also a Team Airrick member with a $3.99 super chat. Are we going to see you chalk tonight? So I don't know about chalking. I mean, I have chalk here. I could probably write on something, right? Is that chalking?
We're playing hopscotch. We're playing hopscotch out.
Yeah, I mean, so we can chalk tonight, I guess. I mean,
maybe some penciling.
It's chalking. Like I know because Pagey hates when people misspell this word. I don't know. We
can't say half the words.
You saw it at the beginning of the stream in the video, but maybe we'll see some later. We'll see how things go. So Alex Alexander has two super chats. We're going to read them back to back because I do believe it's all kind of one question. And starts off here with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. What I don't understand is why do people who don't like / hate the Arrowverse still talk crap about them? Why not just stop watching? I feel like they don't like the shows. Still the shows exist. And then the $5 super chat follow-up to that is like this universe is going to be around for a long time. It might even outlast the DCU shows and even The Boys, which I love, by the way. I mean, that's a pretty good question. I mean, any particular reasons why you think people love to just because there are a lot of channels where they'll be like, oh, I love Titans, but I hate the Arrowverse. And it's always like they throw it in there.
I can explain it really quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that like just pile on hate for the Arrowverse, ironically, are actually people that like DC, but they like the dark as pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like anything the way the Arrowverse goes. Like you pretty much set up, I like Titans, but I don't like the Arrowverse. Like that's most people that won't like the Arrowverse probably won't like Titans.
Right.
I would like Titans, sorry, might I say.
Right.
I mean, there is this, the CW does water down their content a little bit. So, you know, if you are really into that dark, gritty, you know, like you said, like Titans and other shows that aren't on network TV, you're probably going to find the CW version of these shows pretty light. Even Arrow, like I think the most intense episodes of Arrow are probably still pretty light by non-network standards.
Yeah,
I can understand the hate. Whining about it week in and week out is a little weird, but
I did find when I first started reviewing, and it's not so much now. I mean, there are a couple channels that still do it. There are channels that literally hate watch these shows, especially with Batwoman. I remember there was a channel that I used to watch quite often that I really enjoyed where they started doing hate watching of that show. And I don't really have an issue with people that don't like something, but at a certain point, are they doing it just to be angry? And if that's the only reason why they're doing it, then I tend to tune out because it's different from something you love. Like, for example, I really enjoy what Legends is, but I don't enjoy every episode or every season of Legends. And I think that's constructive criticism because I can still find things that I do like, usually out of that show. But if you're watching a show specifically to hate on it and you know you don't like it, it makes me question your bias for it or bias against it. And so there's channels that do that. So I get that. I mean, you don't have to like CW stuff. There's a lot of stuff I don't like, you know, but I don't make content on it. And there's some channels that's their thing. That's what they do. More power to them. It's not really what I look for in content though. Gamerman with a $2 super chat and a Team Airrick member. Thank you so much. He said, I'm glad to get good news about the AV for once. I had to ask Canadagraphs what that was. Arrowverse. Good news about the Arrowverse for once. Well, this video we're going to be talking about something maybe exciting and good, and something that maybe is not so great. But yes, it's good to get good news, and I think a lot of times we forget that there is good news because bad news tends to get more circulation than good news. Let's get through these super chats before we move into the first topic. And the very next one is our friend Gary Gaman with a 199 super chat. Is the Flash getting delayed later than February? I mean, Gary, these predictions, you are like always 100% right. No, I don't know if it's going to get delayed. We're going to talk about the Flash production issues and we'll get into it then. I still don't, right as of right now, we're still in a place where I don't think the delay is going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see where it goes. It could. Gary could absolutely be right. I could see. Terrence here with a $5 super chat. Thanks, Eric, for having CG on once again. He appreciates it. Hello, CG, and are you furious with me? Of course, Canadagraphs is always welcome to join us. And are you mad at Terrence?
He didn't ask if I'm mad. He asked if I'm furious.
Well, are you furious with Terrence?
Well, he is a Trump supporter, so
oh wow,
I have to by default be furious with him.
Wow, he called. Wow, that was edgy. That was edgier than anything I've ever done. Wow. All right. Silhouetted Animator with a $5 super chat. Batwoman season 2 episode 5 is titled Gore on Canvas. Does this mean Doodlebug will be introduced? Also, are you going to review Pennyworth? So the Pennyworth thing is, just like I was speaking earlier about not liking shows, I probably have negative interest in Pennyworth. Like I literally have no desire to watch that show. It's not that I don't like the character. It's like a proto Batman series. And I just really don't have any desire to tune into that. Have either of you watched Pennyworth at all as a show?
No.
No. No.
Well, there you go. I don't think anybody's too excited about that one. You have to be like either a huge Batman fan, or you have to be somebody that just likes that kind of content in general. And, I'm not the biggest Batman fan, not enough certainly to watch a show about Pennyworth years before he was ever connected to Bruce Wayne. As far as the Gore on Canvas episode, we did get some episode titles, and I was going to do like an individual video for each, like all 5 titles. So we'll talk more about those in the individual videos. I'll be releasing them throughout the week here. But Doodlebug I don't know if Canadagraphs is familiar with this character. But Pagey, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see that character introduced into the world of Batwoman?
Into the role of Batwoman, eh?
Into the world of Batwoman.
Oh, the world. You need to speak better, Eric. Can't hear you properly. Mumbling.
Gore
Eric.
on Canvas.
Maybe that thing was shoved too far into your brain.
Doodlebug.
Thought it said Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
I don't know. I was just looking at the titles then.
There's some interesting titles. I mean, episode 1 is Whatever Happened to Kate
right now. I mean, based on that title, that is a great episode to introduce this guy in based on the title.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think people should be. I'm going to throw this out there. Be very excited for Batwoman season 2. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting soft reboot of the series. So I'm literally looking forward to that. Laura here. This is a super chat, but I do want to talk about this briefly. Does this mean the character named Jessica Cruz means she's Green Lantern since David Ramsey is going to be on Legends? We're going to talk about this. There's some very interesting possible ways that this Green Lantern news could go, if it is in fact Green Lantern news. Pagey did a video on it. Actually, you know what, Pagey? I watched your video before we did the stream. So
did you remember to like and subscribe? That's the most important.
I actually unsubscribed and disliked is what I did. So
you did So you did what Warstew's 20 accounts do on a daily basis. Okay.
Yeah. I was following him. That's his normal MO, I guess. Gary here with 1 super chat. Are you guys mad at me? I am not mad at you, Gary. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being here. People are saying Pennyworth is great. Okay, well, that's awesome. I really can't be bothered to watch it. Plus, it's on a service I have to pay for. I think.
Not everyone likes the same great shows. I acknowledge Breaking Bad, great show, but it doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. I've watched the movie though, which people are like, why did you watch the movie if you didn't watch the TV show? Yeah, I mean, it's great that, they're like, as far as it goes, I think Pennyworth is on a streaming platform. You have to pay for it, I believe. And I just can't be bothered to pay for a platform that has one show on it that I don't even really care about. So yeah. People are getting triggered now because of what I said. Look, if you like Pennyworth, you like it. Watch it. I'm not telling you can't. Jeez. People are so sensitive about stuff. All right, let's talk a little bit about the David Ramsey news. This is relatively exciting and like pretty recent news. So we have here David Ramsey to direct, return as John Diggle, and mystery character in the CW's Arrowverse. So Pagey did a video on this, but I want to touch on some stuff that he didn't talk about in his video as well, which is very similar to what Laura was talking about with the Legends character and Jessica Cruz. I guess I'm a little bit confused here. Are we pretty much under the agreement, the three of us that are here now, or at least in a way, we're thinking that this means that the Green Lantern character will at least make a guest appearance in the Arrowverse? Because I think John Diggle showing up in all these shows as John Diggle seems a little weird, is to just be himself, right?
The way the article reads, that Legends episode, if he doesn't show up in that Legends episode as Green Lantern, it's never happening.
Pagey.
Well, I think it's the opposite because they specify that he's playing John Diggle in the other four, and John Diggle was the one that got the ring. Right. It wasn't Mystery Role that got the ring. So Mystery Role makes me think it's a completely different character that he's playing. Similar to like how Courtney Ford played Marie Antoinette and then was playing Nora Dark. Like she played this a different character in a different time. Period.
Yeah, but couldn't they actually do something where because Legends is going to be space-based this season. John Diggle got the ring.
Well,
I mean, doesn't it seem like that's pointing towards that direction?
It's not space-based.
Right.
We know that.
Alien
it's not
space.
They've been filming in normal locations, so it's not space-based. But it'll just be alien influence is probably the best way to put it.
Well, Star Trek films all over in the real world, and they're still based on other planets. I mean, they could easily say that it's another world that looks like Earth. Right?
You would hate that, so I don't even know why you would bring that up.
I would hate that, but I'm saying they could do it.
You would nitpick the shit out of it.
I would. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm just saying they could. Wish that
into existence. So, and I'd be very, very surprised if they went space-based because it also takes away from the time travel aspect of it. And if they're not going to do a multiverse, which I doubt Legends is going to be the first show to tap back into the new multiverse, then it'll be alien influence and it'll still be on Earth and they time travel and all that. They're probably time traveling to very Dominator-esque, like from the Invasion crossover, go back in time to maybe figure out some stuff alien-wise. So it wouldn't surprise me if he just played someone, maybe he plays his own dad or something. I don't know what he would do. But because I say mystery role, I think it's maybe to mislead you and think that Legends is where that thing is. I think he's more likely if he's going to show up as Green Lantern, it would be in one of the other shows. The one you can actually probably pull out is Batwoman. That's just because it's very grounded. It's very Arrow. Like
absolutely. Arrow. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really weird, though, to bring him back into the Arrowverse after that tease at the end of Arrow and not give him some sort of story connected to that ring. It would literally piss off every single fan of Arrow if they did that. So I don't know why they would do that.
I am sure in one of the 5 episodes, we will get that payoff. How they get there is a very to-be-determined thing.
Yeah.
And also with Lara's thing, Jessica Cruz isn't the character in Legends. It's something else. Cruz. The last name's Cruz, but it's like another name. It's like
but again, people are thinking that means that this character is going to be the female Green Lantern because they do things that make people think this, and then
I think that's just one of the things. Oh my god, they share a name. It's first to last. They must be this character, but Cruz is not the most uncommon Hispanic surname.
It's not, but it also seems like why would they know that connection is going to be made by the fans. They could literally pick any other name they wanted, but they went with that name because they know that it stirs up interest in the show.
And also, why would they be doing Jessica Cruz when she's going to be in the HBO Max show as a main character?
Which, by the way, this is completely off topic.
Guggenheim would have been involved at both at the time before he left.
Yes. But let me just say this. I was on a stream over on Sean Stackhouse's channel last week, and there was an article on a website that I just don't really care for because it's usually a lot of clickbait. But they were saying, they were talking about different characters are going to be on the HBO Max Green Lantern series. And they were saying like Alan Scott and I believe a new black female Lantern or something like that. I think is what it said in the article. I don't want to give this site any traction actually. And Guy Gardner or whatever, which seems weird because that's literally like not the same information that was released to the other outlets. It was literally like this random story or whatever that was making up stuff. And I'm just like, we're getting a Green Lantern show no matter what. So even though that's probably all false information, I think the one thing that we were pretty sure about was that the Jessica Cruz character or a version of that character was going to be on the HBO Max Green Lantern show, correct?
No, that shit's already confirmed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like regardless of what other Lanterns may show up, that one we know for sure she's going to be on there, correct?
Well, they weren't. I'm assuming what was the website like? One like this where you got this covered or something.
It was
like
Bounding Into Comics, I believe.
Okay, well they weren't the one. So the exclusive came from the Illuminati,
right?
They were the one that had because I had it in my notes for a video,
Mm-hmm.
and they just gave descriptions of Guy Gardner, Brie Jada, which is the new one where she's like half human, half alien,
yeah,
and Alan Scott. They didn't include the other ones, but I think it's Guy Gardner and Brie Jada are in the same timeline. Alan Scott's by himself. And then Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz are in the present day.
So they basically took someone else's information and then created their own article around it.
And probably didn't. And they probably right down the bottom said source Illuminati.
Yeah, because I never know with those other sites, like if their information is legit or not. And to be honest, when I saw the story from that website, I was like, this is probably some like, because they said woke. They used woke in the title and I immediately was like, oh, okay, well. There we go. But yeah, so if we're getting that character over on HBO Max, I was under the impression they wouldn't share that. We're probably not going to see shared characters anymore. I think the CW is moving in a direction of like either getting new characters or characters that aren't tied to the HBO Max stuff, because a lot of the shows, with the exception of Flash and Legends, will be going to HBO Max when they're done airing on the CW. So it wouldn't make any sense for them to share characters anymore, for that to have the same two characters. So anyway, I think having multiple Green Lanterns is a possibility. I would love to see Diggle as Green Lantern, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I really think they're going to piss off fans if they don't pay it off. I really do. I mean, how would you feel about it, Pagey, if they brought him back and did not address the Green Lantern ring at all? Because I feel like...
Well, it's just like a tease with no payoff, but I think probably the best word to use is just it's a bit lame.
Yeah.
It's a bit lame. Like that's if he appeared for these 5 episodes, wherever they are throughout the season, I'd assume they're probably going to be in a block. So in like a month period, that's where all of his episodes will be, just because all these shows are in different stages of filming. Like Superman and Lois, I don't even know if it's past its first episode or not yet. So, and like Batwoman's like a couple of episodes ahead of the Flash, and like Supergirl's all over the joint. So I'm assuming it's going to be in different episodes, but maybe they might air around the same time. Maybe like a month or 6-week period.
I think actually it might be different. And the only reason for that is he's also directing episodes, and directing takes not just the episode time, but before and after the episode, it takes some time. So his filming time is actually going to be limited by that. So they're going to have to pick and choose like a few days here, like 6 weeks later, a few days there. So I think it's actually going to be more scattered, but I mean,
but that's what I mean.
The schedule is, sorry, what?
No, that's what I meant. But because the episodes were all over the joint already with their episode numbers, how like some are like 5 or 6 episodes ahead. When he gets in there and actually films episode, actually might line up in the end, not in a 2-week period, in like a month or 6-week period.
The other thing you got to remember though is Supergirl and Legends aren't on until late in the season. So, are they going to line up with wherever the Flash and Batwoman and them are at that point? We don't know. I mean, they probably don't even know, because they don't know if they're going to get to run through their intended season the way they want to by that point, They have to shut down in January, and it's like a 3-4 week shutdown. That puts them a few weeks behind where they were going to air their episodes. It might not line up the way they thought it was going to either.
Okay. Well, I am excited to have him back regardless. I think it's good to have someone from Arrow back in the Arrowverse, and it's weird they're trying to rebrand it and then they bring somebody back from the show. It's like, no, it's the Arrowverse. It's not the CW verse. Stop saying that. I tried to do it for two videos and it felt weird. So
I think it was just Deadline wrote it. I don't think it was necessarily like WBTV is the only one that's ever really calling it the CW verse. I understand why they do. They can't really call it Arrowverse. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they want a branding that works across multiple platforms.
You can't really call it Arrow. Yeah. Anyway, we've had that debate before. I'm not going to jump back to that
one. Gary here with the 49 super chat. Do you think the Flash will go on break after 3 episodes? And do you think the rest of the shows are getting delayed? I don't think Batwoman will. We're going to be talking about the Flash production stuff as our next topic. So we'll get into that then, Gary. I do appreciate the super chat. As far as Batwoman goes, they're filming with no issues at all, as far as I know. So I think they're going to hit all their marks. Actually, most of the shows are doing pretty well now. I think this thing with the Flash is just a little bump, but we'll talk more about it in just a moment. We had another super chat, and I'm not even going to
dab on it.
There's your attention. Is that what you wanted? You wanted a little bit of attention? There you go. Get a refund on your $5. All right, so
I just saw that.
Yeah, get a refund on your $5. I don't need it bad enough for you to come into my show and try to be a jerk. Take that ish somewhere else.
Plot twist. That was me.
So, was that the plot twist?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, before we actually move on to the middle of our show here, where we do Pagey's pick and all that fun stuff, I am actually about to. This is a flex. Actually, this is actually a better flex than Pagey's PS5 Xbox flex. So this is merch now. This is my new merch. It's in the shop. The link is in the info box.
And can I release the exclusive?
Yeah, go ahead. What is it? What's it?
So there's 100 available, and now only one of those 100. Instead of the pink Spider-Man hat, it has a red MAGA hat. Okay, so one out of those 100, you'll get the red MAGA hat.
Terrence is buying all 100 just to get it.
That's actually that's not true. But let me just point that out. If you order this, you will get what's on the site. There's no hidden hat anyway. Thank you for that. So we are, it's the fact I even have to point that out. Whatever. Anyway, so here we go. Let us do, what is Pagey's pick this week? I'm very curious. Pagey's pick.
So we're jumping into that now?
Yeah, it's the half an hour mark. It's Pagey's pick.
Okay. Pagey's pick. Somewhat summer edition, because it's heading into summer. Mate, I need to say, it's getting freaking hot. Like, I'm walking outside, and usually I'm not saying this phrase until about maybe a good amount into December. It's only it's the second day of summer today. It's 2nd December. So it's second day of summer. The famous quote by most Australians is, "Fuck, it's hot." When you walk outside, I've been saying that for the past week, and usually I probably wouldn't be saying it till close to Christmas. Mate, it is hot. I can't believe how hot it is. Okay. Sweating dicks. It's ridiculous.
You're not going to burn down your country again, are you?
Oh, mate, if fires don't burn, if my apartment's on fire in 3 weeks, I'll be surprised. It's ridiculous. I don't know if the fires are going to be even worse this year. It's going to be a bit off its head.
You got to burn. You burned it all.
It's hot in Australia. LG Shadowman says it's hot. It's hot in Australia? It's a question?
No, but that's the thing. I'm used to the heat. I'm fine. I like the heat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when it's boiling hot and you can't even do anything. Like you breathe and you go, it feels like your lungs are drying up when you breathe in. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Okay, anyway.
I'm waiting. Where's this going? I'm waiting for this. Come on, Pagey's pick.
I know I said summer edition. I got caught into the whole summer thing. Okay.
All right.
Pagey's pick top 5 Australian delicacies summer edition. There's not really a winter. Actually, there probably is a winter edition, but there's only 2 or 3 which I'd actually rate. But here's the summer edition. No, in no particular order. No, not really any particular order. I think this is fine. The way it is. Okay. I just realized I spelled one wrong. Number 5, the old pavlova, the old pav. Do you know what pavlova is?
Yes.
Oh, my mom's making one for Christmas. I cannot wait. I am curious what she puts on it though.
Now, is that something holiday specific though? Is that is it all year round or what?
We have it on Christmas in Australia, you have it on summer, Australia Day and stuff like that. But I haven't had a pavlova in ages. I can't wait for it, actually.
Look, Canadagraphs is looking it up now.
Oh, can't wait.
I'm replying to someone in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just hoping it's a good selection of fruit on top. Last one I had was a bit, how you going? Anyway, number 2. I had one of these the other day because I had to go down to this particular shop to get a table.
Mm-hmm.
The old Bunnings snag. The old Bunnings sausage.
Wait, hold on. Let me see what that
bread.
is.
Oh, mate.
Every week I'm convinced Pagey's just making up words.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I believe this.
Type in Bunnings sausage.
Let's see.
Yeah, Defunct says Pavlova is apparently from New Zealand. New Zealand is pretty much just a state of Australia, so we talk and we're just going to claim it. Like, we do, like Russell Crowe's the same. Like we just claim Russell Crowe, but he's really from New Zealand.
Oh,
So-
wait. This is the sausage in a bread, like a roll of bread, right? Is that
Yeah,
what
and
that
you get
is?
out the front of a Bunnings warehouse. Which is like a warehouse shop.
I remember at one point maybe it was last year, or the year before. They were giving these away during like elections in Australia or something like that. Is that correct? Or
No, that's the election sausage. So this is the Bunnings sausage. Which
yeah, I'm
is
going to
the
share a
one-
picture of this so people can see this because a lot of people may not even believe it's a real thing. So let me here you go. This is what it is.
Yeah, not sure about that image because the one you want is see the one that's like severely burnt.
Right here.
The third one. Oh yeah, that one worked. When you
Oh,
go
this
to
right
Bunnings-
here. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the classic Bunnings sausage is cheap ass sausage. Probably got eyes and assholes in the meat. Burnt to a crisp, so it's dry as hell. It's on the piece of the cheapest white bread you can find in the suburb, and it's covered in like expired tomato sauce. And the onions not impressive. They're probably at the bottom of the barrel. Maybe it's soggy when you bought them.
So it's like
It's
something you
the
would
worst-
find homeless people eating.
It's the worst quality ingredients, but if you eat it, you will be in heaven. It's literally the nicest thing you will eat, especially when you're walking through Bunnings and you're with someone that's constantly in like walking through the garden section and it smells like fertilizer and manure, and you're like, why are you in here for so long?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Sounds
amazing.
wonderful.
oh, I had one the other day and I want one right now. You can't make them either. You can't replicate them. It's like some special ingredient by like the people out the front that do it. Anyway, and we're only 2 things into this, and I'm so hungry. Pavlova and a
geez.
Bunnings snag.
Weren't you just eating?
Yeah, I was. I just had some good old cheese.
And you're hungry again? Is that
Well-
a flex? Is that a flex? Are
I
you going to buy
guess.
more food?
I guess maybe. Anyway, number 3,
All right.
meat pie with tomato sauce.
Okay, I already know. I know what that is. I don't have to share a picture of that. Okay.
Oh,
Is that a summer dish over there?
all year round, but it all year round, but it's still eaten in the summer. But meat pie with tomato sauce can't get any better than that. The big debate though is whether it's chunky steak or it's the mince. Like that is the big debate with the meat pie. I'm fine with either. I think it's a mood. Maybe in winter you go with the chunky steak bits, and then during the summer you go with the mince.
I just saw something in the chat. We'll have to answer it after you're done, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think I just saw it as well. Anyway, debate there, so it'll be interesting. Number 2, we have Zupa Dupers.
What?
Zupa Dupers is I actually bought a packet of them. They're in the freezer at the moment. If you can Google Zupa, I can't describe it. Look up Zupa Dupers,
All right.
and put it on the thing.
I don't even
So
know how that would be spelled. How can I look up something I don't know how it's spelled?
Zupa, so Z double O. Can you not spell Z-O-O-P-E-R? Like
I can't spell Australian.
Zupa Duper.
All right. So it's like a treat, like a frozen treat.
Yeah, it's like an icy pole.
Oh, you can get those anywhere except they're just named different.
Hold on. Don't be
Hold on.
blasphemous. Don't just say you can get them anywhere. Don't just say you can get them
Are
anywhere.
these the right ones here?
Oh, well, that's just like the thing that's on the package. Go Google image search and go Zupa. Unless it was like some weird imagery or something when you typed in Zupa.
No. I mean, there wasn't. I see.
They're exactly the same as we get here, except with a different name.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not as good.
All right, here we go.
You do seem to have a couple of interesting flavors I haven't seen here, but we basically have those here.
All right, here we go. Which ones are we looking at here? Because some of these are like paint or something.
Go to the one on the top row, on the 6th one on the top row.
This?
Oh, how good are they? Okay, my favorite flavor. It's probably the black currant or the raspberry. However, fairy floss does go off. It does go off. There is the whole meme about how pineapple is the lot. No one eats the pineapple ones. Not the biggest fan of them. I'm not going to go.
Literally freeze pops.
See,
Yes.
See, you're all saying this, but you haven't had one. Once you've had one, your life will be changed.
The only thing I'll say, the only difference is you guys have some flavors we don't have here, but we have like cherry, and I don't see cherry in your.
Yeah, that's good because cherry sucks balls. So thank God.
Wow.
Cherry literally is medicine. And I would rather not have to suck on medicine all day, especially in the blinding heat.
UNE Music, been seeing them my whole life. Wow. This is a flex, and this is a
wow. Pagey's getting like turned on tonight.
Look, there's a photo of freeze pops on the screen.
You know why it doesn't bother me? Because they hate us because they ain't us. So it doesn't really bother me too much because you're just jealous that you're not getting these wonderful delicacies. Very cheap prices. I think you can buy a packet of Zupa Duper.
That's a popsicle. Look at that. That's a popsicle. Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Popsicle. I can't believe people actually use that name. Someone likes Taco Bell in Australia. There are some, only like 10 in total in the country, and they're only a couple of states. I went to one. I think it was like the second one that opened up in Australia. It didn't really. I've had Taco Bell in America as well. It didn't really taste like Taco Bell too much.
All right. So what's the next one so we can be
number
mesmerized?
Number one. You thought, well, hold on, I'm not going to beat Zupa Dupers in the old Bunnings Snag. Of course, it's the legendary fairy bread.
What? Legendary? What is it called again?
Fairy bread.
Okay, I want to show this because I don't know which one is the one, because there's a couple different kinds. Let's see which one that we're talking about here. Okay, so is it like the triangle ones or the regular? Like which one is the one?
Either or.
Like right here, that one? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a good picture that's like, if I made it, how would I take a photo of it? That's the meat. Oh, that's the meat pie.
What was that? Okay. Is that it right there? Like that one?
No, that's a cake or some shit. What the hell's that?
It's fairy bread. Fairy bread cake. Mini fairy shortbread. So that's like a cookie or a biscuit.
That one's probably good. You cut it up in triangles usually if you're going to have it.
Like deformed donuts.
So if you want to know how to make fairy bread, it's literally a piece of
look, toast with sprinkles.
It's not toast, so don't mess around with the toast. It's a piece of white bread with butter, and then you just get a plate of hundreds of thousands, not sprinkles.
Sprinkles on bread. Look,
yeah, that's also the thing. It's not sprinkles, it's hundreds and thousands. There's a difference. So it's hundreds and thousands. You put them in a plate and you just put the bread butter side down, press down, not too heavily, just so they can stick. And then, you got some fairy bread. And you might think, it's going to taste dodgy. Mate, it tastes insane.
Butter bread with Krispy Kreme sprinkles. I mean, you're holding the L on this one.
Do you have sprinkles in your kitchen?
Yes.
Do you have bread?
Yes.
Do you have butter?
Yes.
Make some. I want to see you eat it. On
I'm not gonna eat it though. I don't want to
do
eat
it,
that.
please.
Actually, that looks like something you would serve to children. It's like a kid's treat.
You have to do it. I think it's going to be a bit weird, maybe because you can use sprinkles. The authentic way is through the hundreds of thousands. Please go do it. It. You know what you need to do? Go do it. When we do the thing, just quickly go grab it out of the kitchen and make it in front of you.
You mean when we play the little thing for the subs? All right.
You need to do it. You just need one piece of bread, some sprinkles, and some butter. You need to do it.
Was that all? Was that Pagey's picks? Was that the whole thing? There,
I was going to put Vegemite on toast, but that's an all year round thing. That's just definitively all year round. I think that's about it.
Okay, so let's do our super... People were letting you hold the L's on that, though. I mean, there was a lot of L's being passed out.
I would take an L because I know I'm right.
Oh, okay. Gary, could the Flash get delayed until fall 2020? No. I literally don't think that's even a possibility at this point. That would mean taking this season and delaying it like 9 months, 10 months. No, I don't see that happening. Let's see. Geek information here. 2-9 super chat and a Team Airrick member just saying what's up. Hope all is well. Good to see you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I hope everything is going well with you also. Gary, here we go. This could spur a whole different conversation here. I don't know. With a 1-9 super chat, do you think there is a sex scene next season? He doesn't even specify what show. He's probably talking about The Flash. So I don't even know how to respond. Like, I feel like Gary's messing with us here. Gary, is this a great question?
Is he in between like Joe and Cecile?
I know the answer because I've got I can just tell the future. So I know exactly what's happening.
All right.
Speed Force Gangbang. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an interesting take on the show. It's exploring territory that I don't think we've actually really gone into before, but different interpretations lead to different outcomes. So I'm excited to see what they do.
All right. We got another super chat here from Jon Snow Rules. $5. Thank you so much. I started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's good. Also, ever eat ketchup chips, Pagey? Most controversial Flash moment, U3. Great night. Okay, so I haven't played that Assassin's Creed yet, but that's because I don't have a new system. Pagey has 20 of them, so he's probably got 20 systems, 20 copies. So he's probably playing it on that.
No, I'll tell you what, I haven't played Valhalla. I sort of want to, but at the same time I don't. I still got to finish Miles Morales, but I've got EA Play, which is like the EA subscription thing.
That's a flex. Okay, another flex.
PS5, and they released that Star Wars Fallen Order, whatever it is, for free. So it's like, oh, I'll play that.
Yeah, it's for free, but you still paid for it, so that's a flex.
Right, yeah, but I play FIFA, so I get on. That was the reason I got the EA Play thing. So, and by the way, oh my god, I have to mention FIFA was driving me up the wall this morning. I felt like throwing my controller at the wall, and I was like, no, I think these controllers like $110. So
my god,
I don't really want to break it if you go buy another one. So it was driving me up the wall. I couldn't believe it, but I have a theory around it because you remember a couple of weeks ago I was having this like inner meltdown as to whether the PS4 version of FIFA could be played on the PS5, and I figured out it could until the upgrade come out. The upgrade comes out on Friday.
Right.
My theory around it, they've made gameplay so shite to make people upgrade if they don't have it. So they're enticed, or if not, quote unquote, forced to upgrade and buy the next console. My theory, I think I'm right because it's literally turned to absolute dog shite.
Okay.
Anyway, don't even know what the question was before.
Okay.
Have I eaten ketchup chips? Yeah, I think we just called them tomato sauce chip. I think there was like a brand that had ketchup, but I think usually we call them, they're just tomato sauce.
I actually think Canada has these as well, right? The ketchup chips or whatever.
Yeah. Canada had them way before like any US brand caught on.
Well, we don't even really have them here.
Yeah, like it's funny. One of the guys that comes and gets like photos with the celebrities and that, he has a second off business, like from his real business, and it's literally shipping things to other parts of the world that only can be found in Canada. Like ketchup chips are big in a lot of places because it's not a flavor that a lot of countries carry.
Right.
And I always laugh at him. I used to ask him, like, how many bags of chips did you sell this week? And he's like, oh, I've sold like 15 bags at about $20 a pop. And I'm like, who are these idiots?
Oh, wow. All right, so most controversial Flash moment from the three of us. So before we do our before I do my video, because I will do that after this, what would be your most controversial Flash moments from the last 6 seasons? Like the number one most controversial moment, do you think?
Oh, the non-conclusion of the apartment 4 tale.
Oh, okay.
It's very similar to what could potentially happen with the John Diggle Green Lantern thing, just not paying off to the fans. At the moment, it's controversial. Could it be enlightenment come end of season 7 and just gratitude and like just all-round applause, if you want to call it, from the fans? Potentially, but at the moment, very controversial and disappointing.
What about you, Canadagraphs? Controversial moments.
Moment?
Oh, yuck. Mayo Pringles.
I don't have one off the top of my head. I looked at the question for a minute and I was trying to think of something, but I can't come up
There's
with
one in my mind that always felt it was so controversial. I think I made like 3 videos about it, and we talked about it in like 4 different after parties, and it spawned so much hate towards me and so much controversy about it in general.
It's about how you think Iris should be the lead of the show.
No, that wasn't it. It does include Iris, but that's not what it is. There's one thing on the Flash that I've hated more than anything, and that is the episode where Iris dives off the building.
Oh God.
That moment alone is probably my least favorite moment in the entire series.
I ranted about that so much.
It was such a dumb thing, and people still defend it.
Just because it's Iris. I mean, we all know I have a disdain for that character, but the stupidity of everything about it just you can't write around that and just be like, oh, anyone that loves their spouse would do that. No, they wouldn't.
Well, it just didn't even make sense, though. I mean, like logically, it didn't make sense. So I'm just wondering why people were okay with it.
And speed, like scientifically, it makes no sense.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna stop ranting because I'm gonna end up throwing things if we go.
That's okay. That's okay. So we're gonna step away for a moment.
Just a quick thing, because someone brought up mayo Pringles and weird flavored things. You know, there's like Vegemite chocolate and Vegemite chips in Australia. Well, there was Vegemite chocolate. It got discontinued.
Yeah. Well,
even though I had it, it wasn't too bad. It just tasted like, because what it was Cadbury chocolate and it was caramel with Vegemite mixed with it, and it just sort of tastes like a salted caramel. But I guess you had to like Vegemite to like it. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it. I did eat it.
I have a friend, and they were married to an Australian person for a while, and they got a care package from Australia, and in there was chocolate Vegemite. They were like, "No, I'm not touching that. Like that sounds disgusting." Yeah. So my friend did, and was like, "No." Like no,
I wouldn't touch it either. So, oh look, Dude, Barry was busy eating sprinkle bread and didn't save Iris. Oh, okay, well there we have it. So, Geek Information thought it would have been "We Are the Flash." I don't find that to be controversial. It was kind of cringe, but I didn't think it was controversial. I thought it was just that was kind of a cringe statement. But any thoughts anymore before we take a moment to go do this?
I was looking forward to seeing you go your bread, your butter, and your sprinkles.
I'm gonna go look for it, but I don't have much time. I think the thing is like 30 seconds. So.
Take as much time as you need, Eric.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, we're gonna do that, and I'll be back momentarily. Okay, that was awkward. I didn't have time. I looked for it. I can't find my sprinkles, so it's no point in bringing the bread and the butter in here. So there we go. There we go.
Everybody has been let down.
I know. I could still.
I can tell Eric actually went though because his face is.
If I know I ran. No, I would have done it. Like I don't care about. I will eat any of that stuff on camera. I just didn't prepare for it, so I didn't. I know I have them. I just don't exactly know where they are. So there we go.
We'll hold you accountable next week.
Yeah, we will. I will eat them on camera next week. All right. So before we move on to the next topic, let's get through some of these super chats here. Silhouetted Animator with a $2 super chat. Do you think we'll see Giganta in Wonder Girl. That would be a VFX nightmare, I think, for them. So I don't know if they would do it, but I wouldn't totally write it off. But the truth is, we don't really know who the villains for this new Wonder Girl are going to be. I mean, they could make brand new characters that, you know, that we've never heard of before. So I'm not sure. Any thoughts on that, guys? I know Giganto is really popular in the animated Super Friends cartoon. So
Zero input on it.
Pagey?
I don't think we're saying Wonder Girl. Probably be more. I don't know. I don't know how you can do Giganto.
Gary with the 1-9 super chat. Are you mad at me that I asked that? Please don't be mad. I'm not mad at you at all, Gary. It was a very funny super chat, but no, I'm not mad at you. So don't worry about that. Let's see. Any more super chats? Any more? I think we're caught up. If I missed anybody's, let me know. But I think, oh wait, Jon Snow. The way I interpreted that scene was that Iris would do anything for her job, including facing literal death, and Savitar is actually coming back. #dab. I don't think it's Savitar. That's just my thoughts, though. I don't think it's Savitar. I think it's either someone that we are not like mentally prepared for, or it could be blood work. I don't think it's Savitar, but that's just me. We'll see. As far as that scene goes, facing literal death was the wrong way for that scene to happen. That's just my opinion. I don't want to rant on this because I could do like an hour on how horrible that scene was. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about this, and since Canadagraphs is actually in Canada and goes around where the sets are, I want to talk a little bit about the Flash production stuff that's going on, and kind of because we're a couple days into this news now, and maybe give our thoughts on this. So in case you guys weren't familiar, I did a video on this. I think Pagey did a video on it. I know Canadagraphs went live on it. I think everybody sort of covered this. But the Flash paused its production after a member of the team tested positive for COVID, and they said they were doing, contact tracing and things of that nature, and they were temporarily shutting down production. And in my video, I said I didn't think this would be like a really long shutdown. I think a week was kind of my general consensus on this, depending on who it was. But we still haven't had any updates on this story. I haven't seen anything unless I've totally missed it. So since you're here, Canadagraphs, any thoughts on this? Is there any inkling of filming that's going to pick back up at any point? What's going on with this right now?
Funny enough, I have not even checked about it. I was busy. Like I said to you earlier, I've been working Motherland Fort Salem for the last couple of days.
Right.
So I've just been dead tired. So I haven't even texted any of the people that I would usually ask about something like this. So I don't actually have a follow-up on it. But one thing I do know from talking to someone else, back when Richard Schiff, who's on The Good Doctor, he ended up with COVID, even ended up in the hospital with it. Mm-hmm. And someone I know that has worked around that production basically was outside of multiple cases, they're gonna try, here in Vancouver, the philosophy, I don't know if it's still, because our government has put in some new restrictions, but for a long time the philosophy was you have a case, you shut down for that moment, have the whoever's in charge of okaying you come in, check things out, see what's wrong. If anything's wrong, make you change it, and you can go right back to work literally the next day, as long as you can get an A-OK from them. So I think the film industry is obviously, because they'll bend corners where they can, are gonna jump to the front of the line. They're gonna just go in and be okay, we've got this one person. Here's the 3 people that they might have been in contact with. We've already taken them out of the piece. Can we get back to work? They'll probably get their A-OK. And I said in my live chat, I wouldn't be surprised if by Tuesday they're back to work.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if they are, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. So what about you, Pagey? Any thoughts on this? Because it's been a couple days, no updates on it. Do you think they're probably just going to move back into production soon? Or do you think it might be a bigger deal than what we've been told so far?
Even when it came out, I didn't think it was that big of a deal anyway.
Right.
I didn't think it was, even if it was a week or two they took off, I don't think it was, oh my God, shut down for 7 months.
Right.
If anything, it might be good for the cast because they can take a bit of a break. Because they'd be, I don't even know what they'd be doing. Especially if you're up there by yourself. I don't know what you'd be doing.
It's interesting that you point that out. It's like, can you imagine their filming schedule and how they're having to work in such weird conditions and at a much higher rate than normal? I guess one of these shutdowns is like, woo, I get like a week off or something. I can sit.
Eric has
Back and
entered the
just, like,
Speed
relax.
Force. Okay.
So
He's
it says,
back. I was wondering if it was my phone or you.
oh,
No, you lagged out. You froze as if you.
Is it working now? Does StreamYard fix it or not?
Yeah, you're back and
Okay.
you've
You're
returned.
back. It was
that's
about
weird.
4 or 5 seconds.
That's weird. I clicked on a thing to like bring it up on screen, and that's when that happened. So unfortunately, I'm not going to bring that up on screen, but I will read it out. Introverted Unicorn goes, it has to be someone important because otherwise wouldn't they just shoot something for another episode in the meantime? I think they have to wait until everyone that came in contact with that person, whether it be second or third hand, they have to be cleared. So those tests could take days for them to do.
It's not even that. It's just standard contact tracing as well, to making sure that they don't miss anything.
Yeah.
They rush
So-
into it. That's where
I know I've gone over this before on, I can't remember if I've done it in here, but when you go to a set now, everybody is assigned a different color badge so that you are only supposed to be in contact with the people in the same color code as you. So if there is a test or if there is a case and say it's in like whatever, we'll say the yellow zone.
Right.
In theory, no one from like orange or red or blue or any other colors should actually have ever interacted with that person in theory. So they can just go to all the yellow people and be like, we need to test you guys because you would have been the only ones in contact with this person.
Right.
And they can just take the 6 to 10 people out of that area and be like, okay, what can we do without this crew? And they'll just move on, you know?
Right. So, I mean, and the main thing here is talking about delays, and this is really what I wanted to discuss. So I don't think logically, unless this ends up being something much, much bigger than what it is, I don't think it would be logical for them to try and push the Flash back again, because then they would also have to push Superman back because they want those shows to debut at the same time. So I don't foresee, as long as we don't get any updates, like all of a sudden 20 people on set are sick or something like that, I don't see them pushing this back again. So do you guys think that we'll hit that deadline in February for the premiere of the
Yeah, because if you think about it, they'll be on like what, episode 6 now, something like that.
I'd say maybe episode 5, but it could, I mean, small chance it could be 6.
Yeah, so like, what is it? It's beginning of December, so there's like pretty much 3 months until the show comes out, just shy of 3 months. What's that, 12 weeks? That's what, like about 9 or 10 episodes of filming? 12 weeks? Something like that. Maybe 8 with all the, I don't know, but even then, that's most of the season done. So that'd be sweet.
Yeah, because a lot of people are worried about that, and I'm thinking that you also have to remember, guys, I saw a lot of comments about this on the video and actually on Twitter as well. They caught this person, they were asymptomatic, they caught them before they were actually doing a lot of stuff on set. This is the way this is supposed to work. Very similar to how things were with me. We had somebody who tested positive, and they just literally said, okay, you know, we're going to shut down and you guys go get tested. Everybody gets their green light to go. And then we just resume things after we clean up and stuff like that. So that's kind of the process that everybody's dealing with now, is that you need to find out before you start like mingling and interacting with everybody else. So I feel like that's what they're having to do now. So this is all procedural stuff. This isn't like, I don't think they're withholding information from us. I don't think they're like, there's someone that's super sick that we don't know about. I don't think that's the case. I could be wrong, but I just have the feeling that this is literally just, we're seeing a slowdown while they process. Because right now, I think, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong with this, Canadagraphs, but you guys are dealing with a lot of testing right now because of the amount of cases you're seeing in your particular part of your country. So that may also have some bearing on how quickly testing is done for shows as well, correct? Or not?
Well, our cases are definitely going up. I don't know how much of an increase there is in testing in comparison, but our cases are definitely going up. But I think as far as the testing results, I think whatever the hiccup was earlier this year, I haven't heard of any other, like not even just the film industry, but anything else.
So everything is moving on time now, is what you're saying?
I think this literally all did just boil down to when the school system started. I think all the kids got tested on day 1. and you're talking tens of thousands of extra kits that need to be
right
done. Right. I think that was literally the one hiccup. I don't know how often kids are being tested or if they even are at all.
Right.
So if
don't ask that for the United States because I can answer that question for you. Probably not.
What's that?
Go ahead. So don't ask about the United States because the answer to that question is probably not.
Yeah, we're still getting in arguments here about whether the kids should be wearing masks in school, and I'm kind of like, we have a province-wide rule now that you have to wear a mask in an indoor building, except schools.
Yeah. It's really weird. It's a similar like disconnect here on the way rules are as well, but that has to do with us just not having a federal response to it. So, but the basic thing is, I don't think we're going to see a major delay unless now, if we get another release from them saying that production has halted because they have multiple cases, then we may see some sort of a delay in something. But as of right now, I think it's okay, guys. Just chill out. We'll wait and see what happens. Don't believe anything from like any of the side sources. Wait for something like Deadline or Variety or EW or Discussing Film, someone like that to basically release it and say it's true, because otherwise I'm going to say take all of it with a grain of sand. And let's see, Gary here with the 1.9 super chat. What will be the latest the Flash will be delayed? That is hardly, I don't really have an answer for that, Gary. It really depends on what happens this week. So by next week, when we're doing our after party, we should know if production has resumed or not. So we'll go with that there. Was there another super chat here? No, I think that was it.
You're caught up at the moment.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. All right. So I had one other short topic I was going to toss in here, and I'm only doing this because I want to address, because everybody keeps asking me about it and I want to address it, and I didn't want to turn it into the Ray Fisher hour earlier. So I do want to talk about this briefly. Trust me, it's going to be very brief here. Joss Whedon exiting his show, The Nevers, and Ray Fisher taking credit for this. So,
really?
Any thoughts on this? Any thoughts, guys, at all? Any opinions? I have one statement to make on this, but I wanted to make sure you guys, if you have anything to add to this.
If Ray Fisher had this type of pull, Joss Whedon, there would be like studios denouncing Joss Whedon. They wouldn't just quietly let him exit.
That's a good point, and I'm going to bring that up as well. Anything from you, Pagey?
Well, similar thoughts. Is like, well, if he was kicked out during the investigation, when they say so, when they like almost go, oh, it's because of it. But then again, it's important to remember that like the whole Johnny Depp thing when he left Fantastic Beasts was just like, oh, I'm stepping down.
Yeah. When
really he was fired.
Well, he
did say Warner Brothers asked him to step down.
Right.
So that wasn't with the Joss Whedon thing. And another important thing with the Joss Whedon thing with his Never show is that it finished filming like 3 weeks ago.
Right.
So like that's the big thing around. So he's like, he'd only be exiting some post-production with like 1 or 2 episodes, right? Because they filmed most of it and then they had to go, and then obviously COVID happened and then they went back and filmed it. And I had a look at someone that was talking about it, and it sounded like they only had about 2 episodes to film, maybe an episode and a half, because it's an HBO show. It has a bit more of an elaborate production in regards to time and stuff. And the finale would have more filming time for an HBO show as well. So they, I think they only filmed like 2 episodes. So most of the show's done. And he's still going to be like, it's weird. The whole thing's weird because I thought this show was a series, like a mini series, like not anything that could have season 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. I thought it was one of those typical HBO mini series things,
like a limited series, basically.
Yeah, limited
series, like the Watchmen,
yeah, like a Watchmen and stuff, and some other shows that they do. But yeah, I find it weird. Like if he was, maybe that could come out in. Maybe he has to wait till the investigation's officially over. Right. Before they can say it's because of that. But then wouldn't they wait until then for this to come out?
Exactly.
It's a bit confusing. The whole thing's a mess, and you can believe it whatever you want. But
right. Well, let me say this. Just like the both of you guys just said, is it doesn't really make a lot of sense releasing this news without confirming that was the reason why he was let go. It doesn't make any sense. There would be no reason for them to do that.
Well, apparently, I don't know if this is actually what happened. But I think Joss Whedon was the one to actually reveal he was leaving. It wasn't Warner Media that said it. But then again, it was the same thing with Johnny Depp. He's revealed that he was leaving.
And they still could have followed up with a statement about it, but they didn't really do anything. And So here's the reason why I take issue with this. And all of that's fine. Everything you guys said, I agree with it 100%. My problem with this is, what was Ray saying about this investigation like a month ago? That it was not right, that they were not doing what they were supposed to do, and that they were not asking the right questions, and that he was going to fight against the investigators and try to get some answers from them. And then that story disappeared.
How's it like a month ago? Wow.
Well, it might have been like 2 months ago. I don't remember. Either way, he was basically saying that this investigation was just all BS, right? And that none of the people were doing their jobs, and that he was going to push with his people to get these investigators taken off the case and have his own people brought in to do investigations, because he said that the investigators were literally BS. That's what he said. So now, all of a sudden, the investigation isn't BS, and the victory is his. And this is exactly why I said interfering with an investigation ultimately makes you look bad at the end, because you don't know what way it's going to go. So say, for example, this really was connected to him. He doesn't get to take credit for it after he slandered the investigation, because he said the investigation was fake. He said it wasn't real. So was the investigation real and you just said a bunch of shit earlier? Or is the investigation fake and now you're taking credit for the fake investigation that you tried to slander a couple months ago?
My head hurts thinking
it can't be both things. It can't be both things. They never literally cleared up whether or not the investigation was changed. So we don't know for sure if any of his people made that happen. So as far as we know, this is the same internal investigation that they said that was going on from the beginning. So now the investigators that he called crap and that they were doing the wrong things and, oh, it's the world is against him, now he's taking credit for their work.
Epic.
So wait a minute, like everyone that's following him, everybody that's siding with him, are we following the same train of thought here? This is the same investigation from earlier. This isn't a new one. This is the same one. So if these people were not Team Ray Fisher and now Joss is let go and they didn't make a statement saying that he was let go because of that reason, you don't get to claim victory. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. I just wanted to get that out there because I know a lot of people asked me about it. Gary, I did answer your super chat.
No, he's had one more since then.
Wait, where?
5:38 p.m.
Oh, it looks similar to the other one. That's why. So if there's a 1-9 super chat from Gary, thank you so much. So if there are a lot of Flash will be. Wait, so if there
Basically,
are a lot,
he's asking if a bunch of cast get sick.
I would assume yes. If we see a large majority of people sick, they would have to delay because it would be confinement for at least 14 days for a lot of people. Yeah. If it's only a couple of people, I don't see it being a delay. If it's like, if they announce that like dozens of people were sick, then yeah, probably.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, with the Good Doctor, I mean, Richard Schiff is like the number 2 or number 3 on the show. He got it and they didn't miss a beat.
Right.
So if it's one actor, they'll just work around it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we're pretty good right now. Again, we'll check it out. We'll revisit it next week and double check any of that. So at this point in time, is it time for dad jokes? So are we ready for our dad jokes this evening, guys?
Those up.
Maybe.
Do you actually have any, Pagey?
Maybe I have 2.
Oh, okay. What about you, Canadagraphs?
I have none. I'm checking to see what Google can tell me.
Why did music start on my computer?
Yeah, I was going to say, the Mexican hat dance?
Yeah, it's weird. No, I mean,
now.
no, I think that was some generic like commercial or something. At least it wasn't Hallelujah, because that would have immediately got me struck down on here. So there we go. I'm going to take care of these 2 super chats. We're going to get into dad jokes, and then I'm going to deal with a yellow demonetized symbol on my video, I'm sure. 4-9 super chat from Robert. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. How are you? Can't wait to see Flash, the best show, dudes. Thank you so much. I think we're all doing pretty good. I know, everybody's ready for the shows to come back, and I'm excited for it. And I'm hoping that, not Gary predicting the future. Let's hope that it's not delayed again, because I'm on edge for this, because I know we're getting Batwoman first, and then everything should fall in line after that. super excited for that. Here we go. We got another super chat down here from Staggervore. 4.9 super chat. Was anything like this brought up during Joss's Buffy days? Well, later on, I don't think it actually occurred when he was filming Buffy, but as in the last like 10 years or so, people have talked about, how difficult it is, because we're in a period of time now where people get called out for stuff. So anything that you've done, even if it's been 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, people seem to think it's okay to just sort of toss it out there into the world and then let cancel culture work its magic. But I think Joss has been known to be a very tough director because his creations are very much his babies. So he wants it to be very specific on how it looks and how it is. And so, yes, that's the way he works. But I don't know. I know that Charisma Carpenter, I think. I'm just kind of.
She's like the odd one in this situation because she was written off Angel, I think it was, because she got pregnant and didn't tell Joss, but just anyone, like, until it was like, I think like it was like visible that she was pregnant, and then she said, and then they'd started the season or something. It was something along those lines. Like it was like a major issue with creative, and then he just sort of killed her off because he was frustrated at that.
Right.
But then she's gone and done like reunions with him and stuff like that after the fact. So it's a bit like that whole thing's a bit weird. I don't even know whether like
the most I've heard is he's tough to work for because he has a specific vision and he doesn't like taking.
He doesn't like meddling, and that's why he left Marvel after Age of Ultron, because Feige wanted him, which is fair enough because Feige's in control of it. But Feige wanted to put all like the little remember like the Ragnarok stuff in Age of Ultron, which never even paid out because then Waititi did a completely different version of it. Yeah, and then like the Black Widow flashbacks. Yeah, I think putting Quicksilver and stuff in there wasn't, so he just doesn't like meddling. Right. So I'm sure that I think that was why it was such a massive. I don't know if anyone else heard about it or like thought this would happen. But when he even just signed on to do the reshoots of Justice League and they were going to go on for a while, I was shocked at the time as well because I knew about because Age of Ultron wasn't some secret. It was like out there, like the whole Age of Ultron thing. He like hated doing it because of all the meddling. So it was like he's jumping into reshoots on a movie like this. It seemed insane at the time. So
it was a like that whole thing was a bad idea. It was completely different environments for directors.
So it made me think that he must be been getting paid a shite ton to do just those reshoots. So in regards to the amount of time he spent doing them, he must have got paid.
There's still all that controversy about why he was even asked to do the reshoots if a full Snyder cut existed. It seems really weird, but it is what it is.
Well, the thing is, he was already working on it with Zack. That's how like Zack and him don't like each other, because he was working with Zack Snyder on rewrites, and then I don't know how long. I guess it was about a month or two, and then they gave Zack the flick. So yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is, if you look back now at Justice League, it didn't really spawn anything because all the rebounding for the DC EU happened with like Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Shazam. You know what I mean? Like those movies sort of were the ones that kind of reset the feeling.
That's why they did the rewrites, because they didn't want to continue on with what was happening before. So they just treated Justice League as its own self-contained thing outside of rebirthing Superman.
Yeah. So weird. So weird. All right, so that was the last super chat. Thank you guys so much. Now we're going to do dad jokes and wrap everything up. We are at the 125 mark. And so who wants to go first? Am I going first? You going first, Canadagraphs?
I have Google open here, so it's ready to go.
All right, you go first then.
I'm literally reading the number 1 and number 2 ones off here, so they better be good for you.
Oh, God, here we go.
Today, my son asked, "Can I have a bookmark?" And I burst into tears. 11 years old, and he still doesn't know my name is Brian.
All right, chat. Dad joke, bad joke, or sad joke? You choose. All right, here goes mine. What do you call a fake noodle?
An interpot noodle.
Pasta?
An impasta. Impasta, get it?
Pretty sure we've had that on the old after party before.
No, we haven't. You said that before. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up. Somebody pull it up. If that joke exists, I'll take the L for it.
You probably should get Tom to do it, because he's the creep that goes through all the old ones.
Yeah. So. All right, so it's your go.
How does Han Solo put in? What does Han Solo put in his cigarettes? Might I say?
Chewy.
Chewbacca.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Chewy.
Was that? I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
Stupid answer.
I don't know. We have chew over here. People do mouth tobacco and they call it chew. So I thought it was chewy. So Vastly said, I already did it. Did I really? Well, I remembered it. So, I mean, it's possible I could have already done it. But Pagey didn't do it first.
No creativity.
I might have done it first, but Pagey didn't do it first.
No creativity.
Yeah. All right. Oh, gosh. Here we go. $2 super chat from Alex. WB is just a mess right now, to be honest. I mean,
not really. I think now they're fine. I think they're just dealing with the whole transition.
I don't know. That Amber
must say,
Heard petition is pretty awful.
So. But I must say, I have a feeling the comic side of DC is going to be dead because of AT&T. I have no faith in them. They look like they're going to destroy it.
Yeah, probably. All right. Canadagraphs, your second joke. Go for it.
All right.
You sound like Matthew McConaughey. All right.
I was going to say, I bought his autobiography. I bought it for my mum for Christmas, and I was like, oh, I sort of want to read it as well, so I bought myself a copy.
Yeah, did you brag about this last time?
No, I bought it for my mom last time, and then I bought it again.
Is this another flex? Two
Not
books?
really. It's
Two books? It doesn't matter. That's a flex. That's a flex, man. Like,
Eric, look at your freaking wrist.
What are you talking about? A watch?
Yeah, digital smartwatch.
Yeah.
Look, see, and look, I don't even have to talk. Look at all those snapbacks in the back. The bong in the bottom corner.
Yeah, the bong. Really. That's not a flex.
It's the bat one. It's covered by the Batman mask.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. All right, Canadagraphs, your go. Come on.
I can't stop. I can't focus with the laughing. All right, try this again. My wife is really mad at the fact I have no sense of direction. So I packed up my stuff and write. That was what I thought when I read it too.
Bad joke, sad joke. Was it a glad joke? Did that make you laugh? I don't know.
Everyone's pointing out that you must be actually in a possession of a bong, Eric, because you had to make sure it wasn't in the background.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is this Canada? It's legal over there. All right. So my next one. What did the baby computer call his father?
Data.
How did you know that one?
Wow, that was quick.
How did you know that one?
Because I'm a genius.
Yeah.
It wasn't complex.
Yeah.
That
one was definitely not a repeat. Pagey just got lucky on that one. Just lucky.
Lucky.
All right. Yeah.
He actually wasn't even answering it. He was just calling you Dada.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
So here we go. Here's the final off. Hopefully everyone's had a good stream. Shocking. Make sure to get your colons checked. This is not. No. It's humping the microphone. No, get back up. Get back up. Stand back up.
No, that was the reverse chalk. That's what
I don't even know what that was.
The reverse. Nothing. It's called the reverse chalk.
It's called the reverse nonsense because I don't even know what was going on there.
It was a new dance.
That was I just saw it on the playback coming through. That was a jumbled mess.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, to finish off the stream, if I had 50 cents for every maths exam I failed, I'd have $8.40. Good night, everyone. Have a good night. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully no one has sleep paralysis. Have you ever had that? Very scary. Don't get sleep paralysis.
Where did that come from? Do you have it or something?
No, I was talking to my mate the other day, and we started laughing about this story he told once when he woke up and had sleep paralysis, but he was facing his wall, and he could just hear something behind him, so he thought he couldn't move, and he thought someone was just going through his room.
Oh my god!
In the middle of that behind him.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
I think I cried laughing about it.
I don't even want to think about it because that sounds horrible. So I'm getting out of here. But thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you guys next week.
Chalk City.